Hi everyone, welcome to TNT Friday. Now tomorrow there won't be a live program, still don't have a laptop and still not sure what's going to be happening with my laptop, but all that's to come in the future. There will be a Grumpy Old Men. Steve and I are getting together tomorrow to record a program, so at least we'll have that, but no live program on Saturday this week. A lot to get through, so let's get started. We kick off with the Bangkok Post, and 54 of 77 provinces face hazardous smoke levels. I was out walking this morning around about 6 o'clock and even hear a discernible smell of smoke in the air. And the photo from Chiang Mai, and the story says 54 out of 77 provinces in Thailand were blanketed with hazardous levels of ultrafine dust on Thursday morning, with 27 provinces, mostly in the north and the northeast, experiencing red. That's seriously harmful levels of pollution. And as we'll see in a moment, some areas are in the purple zone. That's even worse. But if the PM 2.5 problem isn't bad enough, on Thursday the Meteorological Department warned that summer storms and gusty winds are expected in the northern and northeastern regions, as well as the central plains, including Bangkok. And that'll go from today until Sunday. Now, the one thing you don't want when you've got a whole lot of fires around is a lot of wind. So more problems for, well, at least the foreseeable future in the far north of Thailand. As we go to this story from the Khao English Facebook page, and the PM, Seta Tawisin, who just landed in Berlin on an official visit yesterday, orders all related government agencies, including the armed forces, to tackle forest fires in Chiang Mai province immediately. And the move came as Chiang Mai is listed as the world's most air-polluted city on Earth, ahead of places like Delhi and Lahore, according to IQ Air. And Seta adds people should wear masks while outdoors, and also ordered the Public Health Ministry to be responsive. More words, more orders. Currently the Prime Minister in Germany and France for a visit in the EU. He says he's going to be going to Chiang Mai next week. Well, let's hope when he gets there the situation isn't like this. And this was from IQ Air yesterday. And Chiang Mai listed as the worst air polluted city in the world. So surely it can't stay like that forever. Well, no, it has dropped. It's down to number 5. Still nothing to be proud about. And let's check the situation this morning. And as I mentioned, plenty of purple areas, which are listed as hazardous in the scale, and plenty of red up there in Chiang Mai at the moment. So the air pollution problem back on the front pages here in Thailand, the Prime Minister heading up there next week. That will attract even more attention. I'm not really sure whether he or anybody else in the short term can do much about this, given that a lot of the problem is blowing in from neighbouring countries. But you can be sure that that story is going to be staying on the front pages for, well, at least the next couple of months. Friday's TNT, and please subscribe to the channel if you enjoy what we do. That's the best you can do to help us what we're doing. Now, in what's been described as Swissgate, these, well, isolated but highly publicised incidents about two particular Swiss citizens, we go to Bangkok Post. Swiss beach bully fined for previous road rage. Not sure whether the flowers are going to do much, but a nice gesture. And the story says a Swiss man who recently made headlines by allegedly kicking a woman doctor on a beach was fined yesterday over an incident of road rage against an ambulance driver. That's back to December last year. And the gentleman people refer to as David, who's 45, was fined 1,000 baht for defamation and 4,000 baht for reckless and dangerous driving. When they say defamation, it was the choice words that he used in the altercation with the ambulance driver. And then simultaneously, the ambulance driver was also fined 1,000 baht for defamation. So it sounds like he fired back a few choice words of his own. And the road rage incident happened on Tepkasat Road. Well, it happened on Christmas Day last year. Merry Christmas indeed from the Swiss gentleman who reportedly, while driving his brand new Audi sports utility vehicle, cut off the ambulance, lowered his window, raised his middle finger and cursed. The ambulance driver cursed back and posted a video clip of the incident, and on December the 29th he learned that the Swiss man had filed a computer crime complaint about the post at the Cheungtalay police station, but the complaint was withdrawn recently. Probably a good strategy given the other problems he has at the moment. So what happened after this little ceremony? Mr. Fair was brought by immigration to undergo a process to revoke his business visa that was set to expire on March the 13th. But he'll probably be allowed to stay in Thailand under some sort of visa until his court case is heard. Now, to the other Swiss gentleman down in Trang, and punching Swiss man in Trang rejects bail, this reported by the Bangkok Post. And the Swiss man who assaulted and seriously injured a Thai woman at a shopping mall rejected the bail offered by his former Thai wife and remained uncooperative with police handling the case. The local tourist police said yesterday that the Trang Provincial Court had set bail for Dieter Matthias Straumann at 50,000 baht. His ex-wife appeared at the court with an asset valued at 50,000 baht to seek his temporary release, but the 62-year-old Swiss rejected the assistance, insisting that he did not want any contact with the Swiss embassy in the country or his relatives. He also insisted that he wanted to remain in jail. Well, his insistence that he doesn't want any contact with the Swiss embassy, I'm sure, will gain a certain amount of attention, and it was reported that the suspect declined to answer police interrogators or sign any document acknowledging the charges against him. He faces charges of physical assault causing severe injury and disobedience against officials for failing to cooperate with police interrogators. Disobedience against officials. Maybe in Thailand you don't have that right to remain silent. Oh, it's purge time in Phuket and more fallout from all that social media coverage of the Swiss man and that kicking incident. And Phuket-Go.com reports 20 plus already arrested in purge of foreigner lawbreakers in Phuket. And police in Phuket have arrested at least 20 people in what appears to be a crackdown on foreigners working illegally and or overstaying their visas. And the arrests are believed to be linked to the furor over Swiss expat Urs Fair, who's been charged with assault after kicking a female doctor. And the case has gripped the country, with senior politicians, including the PM, wading in and calling for action against law-breaking foreigners. The Immigration Bureau has confirmed that Mr. Fair's visa has been revoked. And here's one of those cases, reported by KhalsotEnglish.com. Norwegian and Kazakh woman get caught driving taxis in Thailand. And 2 foreign women were separately arrested while working as taxi drivers in Thailand. One was in Koh Phangan in the Suvarnabhumi province and the other in Phuket. Under Thai law, foreigners are prohibited from engaging in the occupation of driving mechanically propelled or non-mechanically propelled vehicles, excluding international aircraft piloting. So unless they come and pick you up in a Flintstones pedal car, it's illegal. And on March the 7th, immigration officials from Suratani province and police from the Koh Phangan police station apprehend a Mrs. Uni, 56, a Norwegian national. Meanwhile in Phuket, a Mrs. Yekaterina, aged 51, from Kazakhstan. She was arrested in front of a condominium and charged with the same offence. Prior to the arrest, investigators discovered a Russian-language website offering a variety of travel services, including a shuttle service at Phuket Airport. And they believed that foreigners were running the service themselves, so they decided to prove it. Oh, nothing like a good old police sting. And on Wednesday evening, the officer organised a pickup at his condo in Mai Khao, and Mrs. Yekaterina drove the car to pick him up, despite not having a work permit. So guess where that booking went? Yep, straight to the Thatchachai police station. And that purge continuing in Phuket. I suspect there's going to be a lot more arrests in coming days in what I suspect is just the very, very, very tip of a much larger iceberg. And a big thanks to our sponsor 5 Star Marine at 5starmarinephuket.com. Please contact Sean and the team for a bespoke private tour out onto the islands around Phangar Bay. A truly memorable experience, and they come highly recommended from me. Now we go to a story that first appeared on the weekend. It was a story from businessfinancing.co.uk about the best and worst airports in the world, according to business travellers, and the best and worst airports in Asia. Well, having a quick look at the best, the Noi Boi International Airport in Vietnam, Changi Airport, surprised that wasn't first, Hong Kong International Airport. We go to the worst airports, number 7, Suvarnabhumi Airport, and then number 10 of the worst airports, Don Mueang International Airport. But the Thai government questions the ranking of Suvarnabhumi and Don Mueang airports in the worst airport list by UK publisher. And this story reported in the patianews.com. And it says that Mr. Chai Wacharong, the Thai government spokesperson, posted on X in response to business financing the ranking of Suvarnabhumi and Don Mueang in the worst airports list in Asia. He questioned the ranking by business financing and whether the UK publisher was universally recognised by the aviation industry in evaluating the airport's quality. That's the way. Attack the messenger. Furthermore, the evaluation used to order the ranking of airport services was not comprehensive or used surveys made only by a group of passengers on the check-in procedures only. What would those passengers know? And not on overall aspects of the airport such as parking, amenities, security, design and other factors. Well, nothing really surprised me in that particular survey, whether you think it's a good survey or not. And Mr. Chai doesn't. But I was surprised that Changi Airport didn't end up at the top of the best airports in Asia. It usually does, and deservedly so. We go to some more transport news. This is covered by thaipbsworld.com. Khon Kaen to develop light rail transit system next year, and construction of Thailand's first light rail transport system in the northeastern province of Khon Kaen is expected to commence early next year and scheduled for completion in 2027. And the first part of the LRT route will cover a distance of 4.4 kilometres around Cairn Nakhon Lake, and the second phase will be from Samran to Ta Pra, covering a distance of 22.8 kilometres. And interestingly, Khon Kaen investors are financially ready to implement the second phase of the project, so a lot of local private investment in this project. And a spokesperson said that the LRT project in Khon Kaen will serve as a model for other provinces in developing their own mass transit system using clean energy as fuel. Well, the cleanliness of the clean energy is an argument for another day, but that model there for the light rail service being developed in Khon Kaen using mostly private finances. Now, what about the light rail service proposed in Phuket? Oh, gee, probably 7 or 8 years ago. Keeps getting rebooted every 2 or 3 years. It's never going to happen, and it doesn't appear to be on the radar anywhere at the moment. We go to thaipbsworld.com for a second time, and a very serious story here. 7 sexual assaults on women per day in Thailand, according to a report. The National Human Rights Commission has called for the promotion of gender equality across all sectors, as statistics reveal that 7 women fall victim to sexual assault and abuse daily. And the chairperson of the NHRC said patriarchal structures in Thai society continue to perpetuate gender inequality and discrimination, resulting in widespread instances of domestic violence and sexual assault. And the report indicates that perpetrators are often known to the victims, such as family members and school staff. And he said over 7 women have been sexually and physically assaulted per day. And Thailand ranks among the top countries for sexual assault against women. And meanwhile, many cases of women assaulted physically and mentally have not been prosecuted fairly, and there are insufficient female officers. And she called on the government and all sectors to improve the necessary services for women, such as safe abortion services, increased female officer representation, women's empowerment initiatives, and promoting women's political participation at all levels, with the aim of creating a society free from discrimination and violence. All laudable goals and some fairly scary statistics there. Thank you very much. Yesterday was International Women's Day, so that probably brought about that particular report. happy International Women's Day, girls. So that's it for today's program. Hopefully you're a bit more up to date with things happening around Thailand. Please subscribe to the channel. Remember, there's no live program tomorrow, but we will have Grumpy Old Men on Sunday. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on Sunday.